Craft and See with Laura B. Laura at Craft and See with Laura B. Anyway, good morning. How are you? I am doing okay. I have been up since really early. In fact, I probably got up when Kyung was still in her craft room, fixing to thinking about going to bed. That's what I say. I don't know. Kyung, when you see this video, if you see this video, tell me what time you went to bed. It is Sunday morning. Just tell me what time you went to bed. Anyway, so I am here with another installment of yay crafting. Anyway, today we are going to be making this. It is a flip down. Let me see. It's a flip down pocket hidden writing spot. So it can be a hidden writing spot. The one we will be making today, we're going to make it just a little bit different. This one I stitch across. Now it is made up of 3 US letter papers, so 8.5 by 11, just 3 of them. And this one was coffee dyed, and I just grunged it up, and you know, it was the first one I made. I think I got the idea from G Kerr, same channel, same named channel, years ago, okay, maybe a year and a half ago. Woohoo! Anyway, that was a long time ago. It was. I've slept many sleeps since then. Anyway, so then I went ahead, because I just couldn't sit around and do nothing. I finished this one this morning, where again I stitched, and my stitching went off the rails. So again, it sits like this in a journal. Let me find a journal page. Let us find a journal page. Okay, spring journal, which is why I'm doing all of this stuff, by the way. So tis a tad bit big for this, which can be addressed. There's no cutting needed, none at all. So it will fit in something like this. Now you can glue it all the way down. You can make a big pocket back here, which is probably what I'll try to do. So, what was I gonna say? Sorry, a little bit tired. So, like I said, I sewed it down here. Now, to address this width issue, since I only want it to be at most, hard for me to see if I don't ink it, but I don't want to ink the pages, so. Okay, so I don't want it to be any wider than 5. And this is 5.25. So, just slightly, as you saw, slightly too wide. And that we'll take care of in the folding of it. So, and all I did, the only cutting per se, is using the thumb notches. I will get this straight today. I will. So, what you are going to do is you are going to decide how wide you want this. Now, this one I scored at 1/2 inch. Along each one, I scored at 1/2 inch. So this one I will go in 3/4 of an inch. So this is the only time you will need your scoreboard. And even if you don't have a scoreboard, you don't really even need that. You can just do it by eye. You don't need one, but I tend to have a hard time scoring, like folding, getting it even enough for me. I know, we have this discussion every time. So how are you this morning? I said it is Sunday morning. Are you having anything fun planned for the day? Not I. Well, crafting is fun. But no, I don't have any special plans. It is yet another day of rain. Rain, go away. Don't ever come back. Go somewhere else for a while, right? You know, I'm sure there are other places in this country that need rain. Not us. Not for a while. So, Now I just have to figure out where, there it is. I got the new, talked about this in one of my videos yesterday. I got this Craft Treat bone folder, and I put off getting one and put off getting one because, well, I was afraid of the arthritis thing. I have really, obviously, arthritis in my fingers, and it was more expensive than the other ones. I'm telling you, I'm in love with this thing. It makes scoring so much, or, well, scoring too, I guess, if you wanted to, but it makes folding and burnishing so much easier and crisper, and you're not like, oh my gosh, how come I can't get a good solid thing on it? My words will fail me more than normal today, because, well, you know, I've been up since 3 o'clock. Yes, I have. Why? Well, cause. I have to tell on my dog, Isabeau, because, oh my gosh, it's funny. It's not funny, but it is funny. Not the reason for it. She has bad knees. She came to me, I got her when she was almost 4, you know, not quite, but almost 4. And she has noticed right away there was something wrong with her. I thought it was her hips. Something wrong with it, but they're her knees. She's got arthritic knees. Apparently, since she had it when she came to me, it's congenital. And anyway, so we will just double check that this, and I know that it's going to be right, but just in case. There we go. See, that is going to work out nicely and give me plenty of room. All right. Anyway, so as I've talked about, I have a bum knee myself that has been acting up. Luckily, thankfully, it's not a torn ligament. It's just, well, my knee is getting old. I had torn my meniscus years ago and had surgery on it, and well, that just meant that my knee problems, any knee problems I may or may not have, were going to be a lot faster and a lot more. So anyway, so anyway, back to Isabel. She gets a pain pill in her breakfast every morning. And last night, yesterday, and today, I noticed she's been acting a little bit whiny, which normally she isn't. Even when she's in pain. I mean, she's a bulldog. Even when she's in pain, she doesn't say anything. But, you know, I didn't as much yesterday, but the day before I was using my cane a lot. Anytime I moved, I was using my cane. If I had to get up and walk, I used the cane. So, and I was kind of chuckling at her yesterday because I'm like, what are you doing? You playing it up because my knee is a bum, so you have to have a bum knee. And I think that's what it was. Because this morning, I'm not saying it doesn't hurt her, and I'm not laughing that she is in pain. That is not what I'm saying. I just thought it was really funny that she, who never, ever complains and pretty much tries to hide it, is calling it my attention to it. You know, if she could have used a cane, she would have, but it was more of a pronounced than normal. And so, case in point, this morning I give her doggy food doggy, and this being Sunday, she gets an eggie in her food with her pain pill. So she comes downstairs and she is just like, like this, and gets up on her spot on the couch, you know, begrudgingly. And yes, I know if she's in pain, I understand. So go get her dog food with the pain pill in it and the egg, and I put it down. And she gets down, and by the time she has snarfed up that bowl of food, and she will snarf it fast. That's why she's in one of those. Trying not to get it so it squidges over the edge. So by the time she finished that bowl of food, she miraculously better. And obviously the meloxicam didn't kick in that fast. But yep, she's like, oh well, mom's hurt, so I need to show that I'm hurt too. I just thought it was funny. Not that she has knee issues. That irritates me. That makes me really upset. You know, because she came from a backyard breeder. And I'm not saying that all people that, you know, do this as a side hustle that they aren't reputable. Is that what I'm trying to say? Come on now. Is that what I'm trying to say? Not all of them are not reputable. Most of them are. I would wager to guess that, you know, most of them are. Not the people who had her. So it was one of those things where, you know, they were rehoming another dog at the same time, and they were rehoming her because, wait, they didn't say so. There was nothing wrong with that dog. Beautiful dog, sweet temperament. But she had have her second emergency C-section and then got spayed. So, anyway, I have a real hate on for those kind of people. All right, so what you're going to do from this point, find your little, there it is. Anyone who has the little glue toppers with the big old danglies off the side so you don't lose them. Do you have any drawbacks to those? If so, I really like to know. Okay. So the next part determines the height of your pockets. And you do want to be mindful when you fold that they are all the same, because it is going to affect it, and that these are all on the same side. I mean, I guess you don't have to if you don't want to, but it just, yeah, it doesn't look as clean. So decide what you want to show the most of, is how I kind of decided on the, configured this one, is what paper do I want to see down here that I like the most. So I'm going to, this one is going to be my starting point. And then you just kind of decide, you look at the paper, depending on what paper you're using, and you decide what you like. I mean, at this point, it's all subjective, and it's up to the individual person. So I think I want this one in the middle. I like that showing. So, and at this point, again, it's all up to you. It's a very you decide project. So let's see. I'm going to go down. I'm actually going to do 3/4, 0.75. I do not know the centimeters on this. And then all of the rest, you just keep doing that. So I did say point. No, I did an inch. Duh. So go down an inch, and it's probably easier to do this. I get tripped up by these lines. Okay, here we go. Hopefully I'm still in frame. And that will determine how big this pocket, this ending pocket is. So that's another consideration. So, like I said, no folding needed. See, oh, okay. Suddenly really hot. It's a lot easier, I've discovered. Okay, that turned out really well. I like that. It's a lot easier to craft when you don't have to think about what you're going to say. There we go. So I do a soft fold and then come back. I just really like this. Cannot say enough. I rarely review on Amazon, and I really need to. But this is the one that I will definitely make sure that I review. Of course, if I remember. And then you just put it back together. There we go. So this is what it will look like. Now I had on this one, the center, dead center on where to line up my pockets. Ooh, sorry, I gotta turn the fan on. What? Ah, the joys of being a woman over a certain age. Whew. Or close to a certain age. Okay. Okay. That's the other thing that's difficult, is because this is so bright. These two are. And this one, you can barely see it. So determine your middle, or if it doesn't bother you, then yay you. If you want to put a finger notch, you don't even, thumb notch, you don't even have to do that. If you don't want to, I will. And I'm going to use, oh, it's upstairs. I was going to use my envelope punch one, my bureaucraft, but I don't feel like going upstairs and getting it, because then I'd have to pause, stop the video, and then splice and blah, 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 blah. So, here it is. So, let me use this to determine where I'm at. So 5 1/8 is what? 2 1/16? I don't know. 2 1/2. So we'll go right there. Right there. And that'll just be good enough. Dang it. So 2 1/2. All you mathematicians out there are probably rolling your eyes, but I am really bad at math. Really shockingly bad. And it doesn't help when I'm feel forced to know what I'm talking about. Then it gets even worse. And no, you don't have to do this. I'm just being overly controlling about the middle. Because, well, I had somebody that used to be in my life say something about, you know, getting over all the little things issues that I have with, you know, everything being even and straight and the light switches and blah, 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 blah. And what I didn't say to this person was, probably because I didn't think about it, but it's like, have you ever thought that maybe for those of us who have these issues, just let us have them, because that's the only thing keeping us from really losing our you know what? And I have to use both hands because I'm shockingly weak. Nerve damage and all that stuff. Come on. But yes, so leaving to my little thing, you know, my little, what may seem idiotic to someone else is actually keeping me from, you know, maybe stabbing that person in their sleep. Yeah, I watched several crafters, several, that are able to take one of even the easy tools, or EK tools, punches, and just one-handed, just, and I'm like, I can't even do that with the, I found those very, very hard to squeeze, very hard, and even with two hands, and they're just like it ain't nothing but a thing. In fact, I was using the quilt clips to clip these together so I could stitch them, and this hand I could squeeze, but this hand I could just nothing. I could do it, but it was like I could see myself shaking trying to squeeze it. And I mean, I guess in the long run it's not a big thing, but well, it kind of is. You know, I really never before, well, obviously before I had MS, but before the nerve damage and the hand strength set in, I never paid attention to, you know, like the arthritis caps and all that stuff. But just how much manufacturers, how many times they make it. Hang on. I'm trying to stay in frame, keep my head out of the frame, get this in here, and talk all at the same time. And I just, not happening. There. All these safety features, you know, gas cans for my lawnmower. It's like, hello, I can't, they expect you to depress this button, you know, on the nozzle that the gas comes out. You have to, not only, you have to push it in, push it down, and hold it to put it in there. And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do it to put it in the car, and that one's even easier. The one I was trying to use the other day was for the lawnmower, and I'm like, I cannot do that. So I have to take the whole thing apart to where it's just the big hole where you put the gasoline in when you're filling it, and do that. And I never used to be one of those jump on the bandwagon and demand change, but I'm sorry. You may think it's a safety issue, but obviously it isn't, because now I've unsafed your safety issue by dismantling it. And I get the reason why they do some of it, but really, you need to be able to have a clear option. Like, okay, this is for this and this is for that. All right, enough said. So on this one, I am not going to sew it so that this could conceivably be like hidden tuck spots or journaling spots is what I meant. I'm not going to do that because I don't feel like walking the 2 steps that way to do it. And I've made this 2 or 3 times and I've sewn it every time. This time I'm going to glue. Trying to decide, do I want to? Yep, we're gonna just glue it. We're gonna glue it like a normal pocket. However, first, this one is definitely going into my spring journal, and I am inking that with the picked raspberry, not pickled. You know, hey, it's pickled. And with Dauber of Excellent .2. My friend makes them. He's got one of those 3D printers. I love how she tells me about, oh, I do this and do that with it. And I'm like, that means nothing. And I don't mean that, you know, what she enjoys means nothing. I mean, like, what she just said is like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Those words, they don't have any definition for me. So, all right. Again, as always, how's the weather in your neck of the woods? Is it raining? Is it cloudy? Is it overcast? Is it snowing? You know, depending on where you are in the world, it could be snowing. Did I do both sides? No, I didn't. See? Forgot there's a whole other end there. Now, I could take the time, and I know I've seen it done, and I kind of like the look of it. I'm putting these, and actually, if I did the off, oops, don't do that. Put the off-color ones there. I just think it hides the thumb notch for us that have older eyes. And didn't have always had to wear glasses. Well, not always. I think I started when I was 12. But they have not gotten any stronger. The one thing I do like about this one, as opposed to the skinnier one, my skinnier version of it, is this. It's more comfortable. I think I'm her test subject. Let's see, what was I trying to watch last night? I tried to watch Greenland with Gerard Butler and Morena Baccarin. I think that's how you say her last name, but I just wasn't in the mood to sit through a nail-biter natural disaster flick. You know, it's weird because I used to love horror movies. I mean, could not get enough of them. And over the last several years, it's just my tolerance, I don't need to be inking down there, has gotten, I don't know how you'd say it. Let's just say I can't tolerate them anymore. I don't like waking up from a nightmare. And even suspenseful movies, TV shows, you know, like, you know, they have the season where they're dealing with this bad guy and it's getting to the end, and so everything's ramping up, and what's going to happen? Are they going to kill the main character? Or is this blah, blah, blah? And I can't tolerate it anymore. It makes me really uneasy. So I wasn't very far into it, and they were just to the point where they were getting on in the beginning, let's just say maybe half an hour into it, Tampa had happened. And they escaped the city, that's all I'll say. And hopefully even that wasn't too much. Anyway. And I was just like, you know what, I just can't deal with this level of intensity. Isn't that sad? It's like me, who used to watch things like The Shining and read all the Stephen King scary books, and just nope. A whole lot of nope from me last night. So then I started watching Contact with Jodie Foster from before some of you were probably born. I mean, my son was 4 when that movie came out. What am I doing? Don't do that. Ugh. You got to do it this way. I actually almost did that this morning too. What is it with me gluing lately in pockets and gluing them on wrong and where I'm not supposed to? I don't know, but maybe it's I'm showing you the mistakes that can be made, and so you won't accidentally make them. That's my story, and I'm going to stick to it. Yep. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Anyway, so yes, watching Contact last night. And this morning, I've been on a Carol Tinson binge. I've been watching her playlist of, okay, I have it. I know it. Just remember it. Her, oh my gosh. Dang it. Darn it, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Basically, she's doing the journal prompts, you know, for the month. But it's more like, she calls it more interactive. And it seems like a lot of fun. You know, it was in February I'm watching 2021's. So, a couple of years ago. She has a newer one out. Darn it, you know what? It's right here in front of me. Come on. Rock Your Journal. That's what it is. Rock Your Journal. Hashtag Rock Your Journal. And like I said, I'm watching the one from a couple years ago. Because it says, you know, her newer one says Rock Your Journal 2. And so not knowing what I was watching, when I started it, I thought, oh, there's the first one. It's in order. I have to do that one, not realizing what I was watching. And no, it didn't have to be. You just keep gluing up like this. The nice thing about this is you don't have to decorate as much. Sometimes I struggle with decorating the whatever I made. It's like I don't have any imagination, I feel like. You know, I watch people that just create gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous creations like Keong Shotwell. Oh my gosh, Keong, you're just, everything you make is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then there's me like, I don't know. I don't know what to put on it. I bet your walls are decorated to the nth degree. I bet you have just, everything is gorgeous. And me, it's like, oh, I threw a picture on the wall. Aren't we happy? Why can't that just be enough? And the funny thing is because I did home decor, you know, before I started junk journaling. And so back then as a way to pass the time. And I found it really fun. But I never understood the people that, you know, redecorated their house every 3 months. You know, new throw pillows. And I think they might have just recycled, but they easily bored with their house, I guess. Not me. It's like, you're lucky I put a picture on the wall, so shut up. There we go. Got gluey fingers and glue everywhere. So, that's what it looks like, the story so far. And I did pick out some things of which to decorate with. And let me wash my hands. I've said before, I don't use baby wipes, mainly because I don't like how they pill. You know, they get everywhere. And the baby formula shortage here in the U.S. made me kind of think, you know what? Maybe I should leave the baby stuff for the babies. Just in case. Not saying that that's what you have to do. Not passing a judgment. Just saying that's my choice. And it... Oops. I always move this thing. I don't want to attach it to the desk. And these things that came with it, yeah, they don't work at all. Oh, it's supposed to make it keep it from moving around. No, it doesn't. It moves around just the same. So let me, okay, know where I'm at. Anyway, so I have picked out some things. And I decided, because of the nature of this and the cool looking papers, which are Janie B Journal freebies. If you go, I don't know now because I got these a couple of years ago. Not a couple of years ago, a year ago maybe. It's been a while. I don't even know what they're under. But I know that I got them through Dropbox. So, but because of the really cool, whimsical nature of the papers, this is what I'm going to do. Get my pair of reverse tweezers, which I still forget how to work sometimes. Get some of the sticky off of it. I use them for everything crafting. And I'm going to try not to spill these now that I'm opening them. There's my stutter. And it's only with certain words, too, or the way certain words end. You know, like edited. It never sounds right to me. I never seem to know when to stop that word. So, yeah. I get all up in my head over it. And I knew a little boy was, when he was about 3, that would always say, "What's happening?" That's just my normal. So, all right. So I'm just going to put these down, try not to do a rhyme or reason, and just go. See, it's remembering to open. Open, open, open. See, I just can't quite seem to get the hang of opening them. Of course, it would probably help to get a pair of tweezers that aren't quite so sticky. Let's use the ones that are in the back, so therefore rarely used. Let's use my homeboy reach. Maybe that'll work out easier for me. Pick one up. Oh, for the love of Pete. I had a hard time focusing in on each individual one. I'll have to scoot those closer. So, talked about what I've been watching. Anything good to binge on either HBO Max or Hulu? My Netflix subscription ended today because I found that I would rather watch the shows on HBO. They had more than I liked than Netflix. I ended up watching like 2.5 shows. I'd make the rounds with 3 different shows. And I decided, well, you know, if you're not going to like the shows and not really watch them, you might as well not have it. So, I kind of like these. I'll open those. I need to get more containers. And I can't not do any kind of pattern, but I'm really not here, so apparently. The chicks in the background are a little over a month old, like a month and a week. 27th of March. In there. And are just big and loud and oh so messy. Messy, 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 messy. They probably rivaled my teenage son's, well, he's not teenage now, but my son's when he was a teen. Boy, was he a slob. Funny how he gets out on his own and he becomes all neat. And I get the, you know, oh, Spencer's so mannerly. Because he does manual labor. And all the ladies are like, oh, he's just so mannerly. Always says please and thank you, ma'am. And I'm like, where was that child? You know, I got the sullen kid. Why did I get the sullen kid and you get the nice one? So, okay. I do not know. Sam I am. And I hope this isn't too boring just watching me do this, so I probably won't do much more. As you can tell, I'm not left-handed. This whole pick up what to write. First to pick it up, then you put it in. Boom, boom. That was an old Disney cartoon with a ranger and a bear, and I don't think it was Yogi, but it could be. It could have been. It used to, I don't know why certain parts of cartoons we remember, or even shows that we haven't seen in years and probably had nothing, wasn't a big deal, but I'm not left-handed. Never claimed to be. Never will be. You should see me. It's a good thing you can't, because as I'm squeezing these, open the mouth. And me rolling my eyes at admitting that. It's like, really? Just forget it. Just forget it. Forget the tweezers. Forget the tweezers. So this is what it is. Oh, for crying in a bucket. So I am going to leave it here before I make a bigger mess of what I'm doing and all of that. And so this is, actually what I'm going to do before I do that is I will find a signature that I want to put this in. And just find a spot and drop it down. And this one, get my stuff out of my way. I am going to just make the outer pocket. So glue here. You know what? No. And down here. Since it doesn't like to, try to be mindful of my marks so I stay in frame. Okay, it's gotta be quiet, so I have to concentrate. At least my tongue's not hanging out of my mouth. So I got that going for me. And sometimes what I have to do is just fold the page over and it just barely fits. Yay. Yay. It fits. Oh, come on now. There. Oh, that was just, didn't happen the way I wanted it to. My ham-handed crafting. Okay. So there we have it. I like those mermaid looking colors. Mermaid, butterfly, whatever. Rainbow. I think it'll look really nice in here. I might have to put more glue on this to get it to really stick. But anyway, so there we are. A place for many, many, many pockets. Again, if you want to make it a journaling spot, you can sew along here, stitch along there, and then fasten it in with a fastener. Or even if you wanted Velcro it, however you want to do it. This is a very simple project to do. No scoreboard needed if you don't want to. No cutting needed. Excuse me, not A4. US letter size. Folded, 8.5 this way. And so that's it for today. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a a video. I'm trying to get back to, I've only done it once, but trying to do the 5 days a week, you know, so I can get this baby going. I think I'm at 83 subscribers, so yay! And Elaine, you should be getting, hopefully in the next week or two, you should be getting your Peter Rabbit journal from the giveaway, the 50 subscriber giveaway. And until, don't forget to comment, because it really does help my channel grow. And as always, peace out. Bye.